Hi, let's assume you have BAM files, bed files. BAMs are sorted indexed, bed are proper size. You did a diff-bint analysis and found differential peaks, which are summarized in a table of results. And then you want to make your final illustration in IGV. But here is a problem. If you will use original BAM and bed files, you will get something like this. It's so busy that, for instance, track of bed peaks is congested at the bottom. Then you have unnecessary tracks of the individual reads, which of course you can remove, but it's still not what you want, I think. What you probably like to make is a lighter version of your BAM files. Then instead of showing all the files, probably average per group would be enough. And this all can be done using a package of deepTools. It has a handful of functions, and we are in particular interested in two: BAM coverage, which will convert BAM to BigWig or BedGraph. And then, of course, we will need BigWig average. With those lines, we will generate average tracks for our viewer and this way reduce number of tracks. And then, in addition, we can enjoy quality checks and make summaries and figures of your tracks. But first you have to install deepTools. You go check what is recommended, and then you see that it is a Python program. Therefore, I decided to open my Spider and type within pip install deepTools. But the installation appeared to be unexpectedly tricky. First, I tried to install the default version of deepTools, which is 3.5.6, into my Anaconda with Python 3.12.7, and it crashed. It complained about NumPy package and it was totally dysfunctional. I had to remove Anaconda. Then I took my other computer with the Python Anaconda installed and installed deepTools version 3.5.1, also a bit older, and it worked. And finally, because I lost my Anaconda, I installed Spider 6 standalone, which comes with a Python 3.11.11, and then installed the latest deepTools 3.5.6, and it worked again. Next, you write tiny little script. You import OS and glob just for your convenience. Then you can ask for a help check whether deepTools is responding. It is responding, and it lists again all the functions. Then you move to the directory of your sorted BAM files, this one, and then according to description, remember the description, the first three 1, 2, 3 are neurons derived from IMOPs, and 4, 5, 6, 7 are IMOPs. It's a bit messed up order, but still first three are group 1 neurons, last 4 IMOPs. Then you better create a subdirectory with output results. I did it already. And then you test whether it will work first in a BedGraph format. That's the line you learn from the tutorial online, that it's basically BAM coverage minus B binary input your BAM file minus output to BV subdir, the same name, remove extension at BG, then specify that it's a BedGraph format, and then -p max, it is to speed up the computing process. It will use all power of your computer, and then you concatenate all those lines together, check it, looks okay, nothing forgotten, single spaces all in between. Then you say run through OS system. Then it sends you this report, and after a while you will see BedGraph appearing. Don't try to open this BedGraph or BV. BV is binary, so nothing to read. BedGraph is a text one. The way you do it, you go here and then you open terminal, and then you ask head, what was it again, srr bg, and then you see the head of it. The structure of this file is very simple. You see column of chromosome positions. All genome is split on bins. For every bin you have a start and stop position and a read counts inside every bin. The default bin size is a 50 base pair, although if you inspect all these lines, you see that sometimes it is 50, sometimes it is not. And you can also check bigger fragments, type in cut, and then Ctrl C, and then again, by large it is a 50 base pair, but sometimes it might be different, and I cannot tell you why. That's it. Next, you create a loop for each group in separate. For F neurons, group 1. Your line is pretty much the same, only now it is a BigWig format, therefore line 2 is hashtagged. You do only my line and line 3. And this way you create BigWigs for all the files, first in a neuron group, then in IMOPS group, and then you run it. And after a while the job will be done. When you finished with the BAM coverage, you move to this directory with the BV files, and then you create a line. Your selection will be this, numbers 1, 2, 3, and then you say my line again, BigWig average -b, so binary source, then plus selection. So these 3 files will be averaged, plus -o, then we will name it neurons AVG BV. Yes, that's it. First, of course, print my line plus line 3. Let's check it. Sounds good. And then we say OS system, my line plus line 3. And here we go. I repeat more or less the same lines for a second group, IMOPS, and then you have this individual tracks for each sample, and then averages for IMOPS and neurons. Next you go to IGV, load IMOPS average, etc., and then you consult your differential bed annotation and decide where to look for per kibbe, for instance. Let's go. And importantly, you do group auto scale. So these are default bin sizes of 50 base pair. All genome is now represented. The view is simple and clear, and there is plenty of space for other tracks. But of course it's not yet the end. BedTools package will help you with the bed files. For instance, you can find the most consistent bed pics. There is lots of other options available. And at the end, your results table is still not visible in its natural condition, but you can easily transform it into the functional bed file, which can be loaded in IGV and mark your differential peaks. This is where we started. This is what we got after averaging. Lots of space. And I will stop here. I leave BedTools for later. Apologies, there is never enough time for everything. And have a good day.